Welcome back to Data Center News Asia. Sorry, I'm a little hoarse. I was pre-networking before PTC yesterday, and I've just packed my bags. How you look like you're busy in the office, James?
Yeah, busy. We've got our company kickoff this evening, so put in a late night. You said you weren't going to drink any alcohol before PT series.
Yeah, my dry January became a little damper than I was anticipating, but it is got to be warmed up. You don't want to go into PTC on empty liver. But enough about that. Let's go into should we do the story that we were just talking about first? So CapitaLand India Trust have signed and this is pretty huge actually. This is a pre-lease for half of their in-pipeline capacity. It's 250 megawatts of under development capacity in India. What do you make of that?
Yeah. So funny enough, I've been typing to Sarvesh, our India analyst, just as we were discussing this story. Yeah. So it's I'm not sure if I should say this, but yeah, it's in one of the sites they have under development. I'm actually going to keep those notes under wrap. That's probably confidential. But yeah, significant pre-lease on one of their big sites. If you kind of carefully look at their portfolio, you can probably quickly work out where it's likely to be and who it's likely to be with. But like that is a very, very large deal.
I haven't looked at the map, so is it the one that I guessed?
It might be, yeah.
Interesting.
Like I said, don't get in trouble. But it's a significant
All
lease.
right. No, that's all the information in the press release, folks. But you can check out your DC Buy platform or do your own research to figure that one out. But yeah, congratulations to the CapitaLand Ascendus team, or sorry, CapitaLand India Trust is the correct brand. Guri Shankar released a statement talking here about looking at diversifying into critical infrastructure, etc. But yeah, that's a monstrous deal. So good for them. And do we think we're going to see more pre-lease? There's a few other big campuses in that sort of area that, there's obviously a lot of leasing activity in India, but I don't know if we're going to see more pre-leases of this size coming up, or whether it's a special use case.
Yeah, well, this client, just reading some more notes just as we speak, this particular client has actually got quite a lot of developments themselves in India, and in this particular city as well. So it sounds like they can't get capacity up fast enough. And I think this is interesting. So I think this could end up being an AI deployment, just given the size and just given the client and the fact that the client had been relatively vocal about, or have certainly a private been talking about India being a hub for AI. So yeah, I think we'll see more of this. It's like I said, pretty interesting one.
Well, ultimately, the biggest current money making use case for the AI capacity is in bots and agents, and Sam Altman was talking about that last week. And India is probably the biggest potential market for that in the world. So yeah, that makes sense that these kind of capacity numbers are coming up. Let's go over to Japan because there were two pretty cool deals here. I think I'm pretty sure everyone will have known about these deals for a while because they have been in the works for a long time, but they are now officially in the press, so we can talk about them. And the first one we'll do is CloudHQ and ESR. So Jimmy was nice enough to send over the press release. So this is a joint venture for the Como Square data center.
Cosmo.
I think is Cosmo. Oh, sorry, Cosmo Square. But I think this is pretty much built already, right?
Yeah, so ESR have been kind of doing the powered shell for this piece it's been under construction for quite a while. We've seen it at various stages of development, and last time Jingwen was in Osaka, the building looked quite close to completion actually even back then. So kind of imminently ready to start going live. I believe the first phase, which is phase OS1, I think it's 25 megawatts, if I'm not mistaken. That's going to go live in and around June time. So they're probably at the kind of the fit out stage at the moment, or certainly going to be starting that pretty soon. But this is significant development. Like, this is going to be scalable. The three different phases: OS1, OS2, OS3, scalable up to 130 megawatts once fully built out.
Yeah, this is a exciting campus. This will be one of the bigger Osaka campuses in what's becoming a big metro in itself for capacity. And we know from press releases and conversations with them that both ESR and CloudHQ have continued plans in Japan for further expansion. ESR obviously already has the Stack sites in Tokyo and a couple of others on the market as well, I believe.
They've got
They are
Stack sites in. Well, they have a number of sites across Japan, obviously. Then they obviously have the partnership with Stack in Korea. I don't think that Stack site is an ESR site in Inzai. I don't believe. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think it is.
Sorry,
I
no,
think.
you're right. That's the Oak Tree Capital is the other Stack one.
Yeah, sorry, you were making me second guess myself there. No, ESR have they have a number of different sites in Osaka and Tokyo. The Keihana site in Tokyo, for example, as well as a significant pipeline. You mentioned Korea already, India, Australia, and I believe they're now going to be looking at some of the emerging markets as well. Well, I think they already are looking at the emerging markets. So they have a significant pipeline. CloudHQ obviously do as well. I believe if you go into the CloudHQ website, you'll also see Thailand there as well.
Yeah.
What's interesting is if you were really eagle-eyed, you could have probably made out this site from their website. But yeah, now it is official and the announcement is in the public.
I think they're quite bullish about the customer they have lined up for this as well. So yeah, exciting news for both parties. Congratulations to CloudHQ and ESR on this one going public. $2 billion planned spend on this campus. Speaking of big Japan investments, again, I don't think it's been any secret. Certainly, they had the Japan MD is already in place for these guys for a little while. But yes, EdgeConneX is officially in Japan.
Yeah, so they announced a development with Kagoya Asset Management. So in the press release, they talk about this site as kind of being in between Osaka and Kyoto. So Osaka and Kyoto are kind of one large city at this stage. They kind of merge into each other. Again, a very significant development, 140 megawatts in this particular instance, with a go-live date of 2027.
Yeah. So that's gonna. I mean, it's funny going from India to Japan, seeing the longer lead times. We know this is a characteristic of the Japan market. Getting things up takes a little while, but pretty interesting seeing that scale as well. Because I think EdgeConneX we know typically work with one of the customers that they get, or they like to go with pre-capacity or pre-lease agreements in place. Osaka, I guess, at this rate, it could be catching up with Tokyo in the leaderboard in a couple of years. I mean, that's just talking there. That's 260 megawatts we've just, or 270 between these two campuses we've just talked about.
Yeah. Significant development there. Interesting you mentioned build times because we're going to Johor next for the Stack announcement, but visiting a couple of construction sites yesterday, and they're getting capacity from shovels in the ground to the commissioning stage at 8.5 months. So very, very interesting to see that.
Yeah, that's extremely rapid. So yeah, Stack Johor again. I think this has been gossip in the market for a while, but it is now official. Where is this in relation to the other clusters around Johor?
I should be able to tell you because I saw the site yesterday. I actually couldn't tell you despite having seen the site yesterday. Can't tell you it's a very nice site though. Large, nice shape. Quite interestingly, quite a lot of the developments going underway at the moment don't actually have paved roads or anything anything leading up to them. So I can verify that this one does and requires a bit of. It looks like they're gonna have to demolish an existing building on the site. But yeah, like I said, very nice site in I think what will be a very, very desirable area, and I think should see no problem leasing this. This is ready Q4 2026.
That's right. That's if I recall correctly, that's not far off when they were talking about their Australia one being up and next phase being up and completed. So it's a busy year for them next year, Stack. But yeah, that brings them to Japan, Australia, Melbourne, and South Korea, where they have ongoing developments. And they've only been in Asia for, 4 years now. So they're the rapid progress from the Stack team. I don't think we actually reported on this because it's more of a US-based story, but Stack, the owner of Stack, IPI Partners, was acquired by Blue Owl Capital late last year. So people who have them on LinkedIn may have seen some of the investors changing their branding over. So yeah, I think they're planning to carry on firing the money in.
Yeah, good stuff. And we've got one more final story, right? NEXTDC.
That's right, yeah. So just mentioned Melbourne there with Stack. This is another Melbourne facility. They actually announced two here. So they announced an 80 megawatt facility in Melbourne and an edge site in Victoria
Geelong.
City, is that in Victoria?
They have an Aussie Rails team, so I think you can safely say it is.
Yes, it is also in Victoria, so it's near to. So there are two sites here. So how it haven't I haven't actually read this press release in detail. What's the size of the edge site? Because edge seems to mean different things these days.
So I think this is a proper edge site. So this is a megawatt facility as per the news report I read on this particular site. And then the M4, which will obviously be their fourth asset in Melbourne, this is 80 megawatts, scalable to 80 megawatts.
Wow. So the tale of two scale. I wonder if that megawatt one will be similar to the one they did in Darwin with the container. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe. This is interesting because this M4 facility, it mentions it's close to their M1 site, which is pretty central location. But it also mentions that, according to a presentation they did at the tail end of last year, I'm not sure if we reported this at the time, but M5 is also under evaluation. So NEXTDC really show no signs of slowing down in Australia, and this is obviously complemented by the fact that they're kind of making significant investments also in markets like Malaysia and a couple of other markets across APAC, Japan, Thailand, etc. So yeah, exciting time for the NEXTDC team, kind of doubling down on Australia, which is obviously a very strong market at the moment, while also simultaneously expanding up into APAC.
Yeah, absolutely. There's huge expansions from them. Obviously, CDC as well. Everyone's hot on each other's toes in Australia. It continues to be probably one of the most competitive markets in the region.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I've got meetings lined up with a lot of these guys next week, so it'd be good just to get a bit more information on some of these plans and what else they've got in the future. Couple of slots left at PTC. We're tentatively talking about it, organising a hike as well, which we can catch people at. But yeah, Rhys, you're flying off tonight or tomorrow?
I'm early tomorrow morning, but due to the magic of time zones, I will also land in Hawaii on Friday morning. So got a couple of meetings Friday, Saturday, but still some time there, and then the rest of the conference is pretty busy. So if anyone's getting in early, do let me know. And I guess we will see all of you next week, or most of you next week, and otherwise you'll see us on the internet doing this. Aloha.
Yeah, aloha. Thanks, everyone. And speak soon.